All right. Welcome everyone to Alpha Omega's Luau on the Lawn, virtual and live tasting experience.
It's aloha.
Aloha. Aloha. Aloha, everyone. Hey, you know, it's a beautiful day here in Napa Valley and the weather is perfect. We have guests here joining us virtually from all over the country, and we have some of our favorite Air Elite members here on site. Cheers to you all. We hope you're doing well. We're happy to have you here with us this afternoon. And this is going to be an incredible experience. I'm going to be your moderator. My name is Barrett. I'm the virtual ambassador here at Alpha Omega. As moderator, I will ask that you keep your microphones on mute if you're joining us virtually. We are going to communicate with the chat box here at the bottom of our Zoom window. So all your questions and your comments, please submit those in the chat box and we'll do our best to address all of them. We put together probably the greatest island experience in history here today at Alpha Omega. Our production team, our crew, Robin and Michelle, our vintners, have really created an amazing atmosphere for a great afternoon. We've got 3 delicious wines that we're going to taste and discuss with you all. We have specialized curated food pairings for each of these wines in what is going to become a beautiful bento box that we're very excited to share with you all. And last but not least, we've got song and dance from an amazing group here that was with us last year that was so incredible that we brought them back again this year. So we're happy to have you guys all here. We've got trivia questions and prizes to get rid of. We've got best decor, best attire prizes to offer to people. And we want to have a great time and bring the island vibe to you all today. So if you're at home virtually and you don't have a grass skirt or some coconuts, put them on right now. Get your island vibes ready. Finish your pre-game Mai Tai, that we're doing here. And let's all get the island's vibes going. Joining me here on site, we've got our crew here. I've got winemakers Matt Brain and Melissa Paris with me today.
Great to be here.
Hi, friends.
Cheers to you guys.
Thank you.
Master Sommelier Bob Bath is with us today.
Yay, Bob.
Special guests, our amazing vintners, and really the motivation and the idea behind this whole concept, Michelle Baggett and Robin Baggett. How are you guys?
Great. Loving these Mai Tais that our mixologist Jesse Featherstone put together with the AO Late Harvest wine. So I'm hoping everybody has put this wonderful AO Mai Tai together to enjoy this first hula.
It's delicious, isn't
Good.
it?
What's the concoction?
It's 2012 Late Harvest. It's some very special rum that Jesse James Featherstone has an in on that we need to discover. And we posted this on our social media. We posted a little pregame Mai Tai recipe on our social media. So
Barrett on the ukulele.
I was playing a little ukulele to get that going.
It was pretty awesome.
But these are absolutely delicious. So check that out when you can, my friends. Special guest chef with us today. We've got Chef Rebecca Pizer from All Things Culinary.
Hey, Rebecca.
How are you? Great. Last, certainly not least, everyone, our entertainment, song and dance here, Aloha Polynesia, dancers and musicians here with us today. Yeah. Awesome. 3 delicious wines, my friends. We're going to start with a bang here. But first, we're going to send it over to Aloha Polynesia to get us going.
Everyone say, aloha!
Hello.
Right now, song called Sophisticated Hula. Really happy during the speech of hands on the lips to the hula tips. Sophisticated hula, it's the talk of the town. Swing your partner round, soon you'll cover ground. Sophisticated hula, it's the talk of the town. The native hula maidens, they love to dance. They do the dancing to the beating of drums. And now sophisticated hula chant, so you can dance while the melody runs. Dance to the music sweet, soon you will repeat. Sophisticated hula, it's the talk of the town. Hands on your hips, do your hula dip, dip, dips. Sophisticated hula, it's the talk of the town. But don't swing your partner around. Soon you'll come around. Sophisticated hula, it's the talk of the town. Lady hula maidens, they love to dance. They do the dancing to the beating of drums. And now sophisticated hula chant, so you can dance while the melody runs. Dance to the music sweet, soon you will repeat. Sophisticated hula, it's the talk of the town. Oh yeah, sophisticated hula, it's the talk of the town.
Yeah. Oh yeah, thank you guys. We're gonna keep that going throughout our virtual tasting today. Very excited to have some incredible entertainment for you all out there. And I mean, we've got, I wanna pan over to our Air Elite members real quick and raise a glass to our live crowd. I mean, cheers to you guys.
Welcome back.
Nice to have people.
Welcome back. Yeah, it's so nice to have people back here again for events. Really the lifeblood of Alpha Omega, obviously delicious wines, but having guests on site to enjoy some camaraderie and some great wines together. I mean, we have 3 delicious wines today, everyone, that we're going to taste and discuss. And we're gonna start off at the top here with our Reserve Chardonnay 2018, our Barrel Select. This is one of our best Chardonnays here at Alpha Omega. And I'd like to ask Bob Bath real quick, because we were talking before our virtual tasting today. Bob, there's a new AVA in Hawaii.
Breaking news, folks. Ulu Palakua. This is the first AVA in Hawaii approved this week. You'll see it as of officially August 2nd. You're thinking right away, they grow grapes in Hawaii. They do, as a matter of fact. And the winery is called Maui Wines. The appellation actually is located in the very western part of the island. Yeah. They have 17 acres planted. What grapes are they? Gewürztraminer, Chenin Blanc, Viognier, Malbec, Syrah.
Wow.
There it is.
What a combo.
I don't know what it is. I haven't had any of the wines. I'm excited to try them. Maybe next year we'll actually have Hawaiian wines here.
There we go.
What island?
Oh, Maui. Very western part of Maui.
Oh,
hey, fun fact, I actually have been there. I went with my folks about 5 years ago to that winery. It was a lot of fun, actually.
I've had pineapple wine up in Maui.
They had pineapple wine
all the way up, and you get just a tiny splash because you got to get all the way back down.
All right, thank you, Bob. Before we dive into this Reserve Chard, my friends, if you've been to our virtual tastings before, you know we love to do trivia. And we like to give away big old magnums of our wines for our trivia winners. We've got 3 trivia questions here that we're gonna offer with the 3 wines that we're tasting and discussing. And we want everyone to be civil here. Put your answers in the chat box. Quickest answer wins a Magnum of 2017 Malbec from Alpha Omega. Boom, big barbecue wine right there. So first trivia question.
Well, we have a little change of pace because this morning from 7 o'clock till I got here 1 minute before this started, I was at the junior livestock auction for Napa, and Alpha Omega bought 3 hogs, to let you know, and 2 lambs.
3 hogs.
So we're gonna have, there's some more parties coming.
Oh,
But anyway, I didn't have time to do it, so Michelle, who knows more about Hawaii than I do, is gonna do the trivia.
Oh, I am. Well, I wrote it down for you just in
No,
case.
you got it.
Okay.
You did it. I didn't.
Okay.
I was not involved.
Are we doing 3 trivia or 2?
We're doing
Great.
3 trivia,
Good,
so
I've got
3 different
3.
trivia, and then we have a best decor for our virtual crew at home. We're looking at all your screens, and then we have best attire, which is also going to be given to our live guests who are included in that, and our virtual guests. But 3 trivia questions.
Okay, number 1, this is going to be easy and be quick on the draw. If you're going to Google, you're coming in last. How many islands is Hawaii made up of? How many islands is Hawaii made up of?
First answer was 7, and they're a little off.
Okay, now
They're
you're
co-
going to Google.
They're coming in. They're coming in hot. Oh yeah, they're coming in hot. This is a tricky one, Michelle. This is a really good question.
It is a good
Well,
question.
if you actually listen to my words and you Google exactly what I say, you're going to find it. How many islands is Hawaii made up of?
Okay, the answers are coming in on that. We're gonna have our team analyze them. I don't think I've seen the correct answer yet. So
good job,
it's
Michelle.
ongoing. It's
Michelle
ongoing.
did this. You know, when I do it, they get answers in 2 seconds.
Well, I just go to Google and I'm like, Hawaii trivia.
All right. Well, hey, as those are coming in, we get a correct answer here. Let's enjoy some beautiful Chardonnay. The Mai Tais are flowing, they're feeling good, but we're starting off with a bang with our 2018 Reserve Chardonnay, our barrel select, everyone.
Yeah, an incredible Reserve Chardonnay from an incredible vintage, our 2018s. Obviously, we've been talking about for quite a while on the red side, and these Chardonnays were just incredible as well. You know, it was a fantastic growing season. We got the ripe, rich flavors that we really wanted in this wine, but there's also great bright acidity here. And as you mentioned, Barrett, this is the barrel select, all of our best barrels from the vintage. And it's really fun to put a wine like this together and go through this blending process.
Yeah, one of the things that I love about the Alpha Omega Chardonnays in general is you got a lot of citrus quality to it. Most of the time in Napa, it's overwhelmed with oak. And so many people say, I don't want to try the Chardonnay because I know what I'm going to get. That is not the case with us ever. It doesn't matter what vintage it is. And I think it's because of that barrel selection that we do really, really specifically.
Yeah, and I think that this wine that we like to create, to craft this reserve, we're really looking for from the best of both sides. We're looking for some richness. We want some weight on the palate. We want a lot of impact, but we want that bright core of acidity through the middle of the wine to keep things fresh and elevated. And, you know, as we mentioned, it's kind of the best of the barrels of the vintage. We go through the blending process to create this wine, and it's such a pleasure to work with fruit coming from some of our best Chardonnay vineyards up on the top of Mount Veeder and down in Carneros, two just incredible spots for Chardonnay here in the Napa Valley.
Yeah, I mean, Bob, we really focus on here at Alpha Omega sourcing and farming from the best vineyards in Napa, and the diversity of our locations in Napa is obviously known. But when it comes to Chardonnay and specifically Carneros and Mount Veeder, what do those two locations bring to a wine like this?
Well, I think, Barrett, first of all, when we talk about Chardonnay, and it's a grape that's grown throughout California, so the challenge is what's the difference of these different regions? And that's what we have here in Napa Valley. We really have different regions with different characteristics. And I think the reserve really gives us a chance to create that all-star team, if you will. It's certainly next Tuesday with the baseball all-star team. I think there's a great analogy there simply because the barrels you're picking are not all the same. You're picking one because it has great acidity. You're picking another one because it has richness. And those appellations, Mount Veeder and Carneros, couldn't be more different. So having that variety to us allows us to find that all-star team. It allows us to find that complexity. I think the main thing too is that this is reserve. This is small production. This is where you can really focus on making the best of the best.
Yeah, that's right. You know, this wine does get a little bit more new French oak than some of our other Chardonnays, and we do get in that barrel and we do stir it a little bit more to create that richness. But I just love how it's still focused on the core of fruit, and the fruit is just a lovely expression of cooler climate Chardonnay from Napa. You know, it's bright, as Paris mentioned. It's really citrus in nature. I think it's very, very beautiful. There is an homage to the old world, I think, with some of the chalky kind of characters that we do get from some of that seabed uprising soils up on Mount Veeder. And I think it's a complex wine and a really, really great rich wine, but also a fresh style of Chardonnay.
Rob and Michelle, I want to bounce this to you because when you guys first started Alpha Omega, you wanted to focus a little more on Cabernet Sauvignon and the red varieties. But here we are, 15-year anniversary, by the way. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
15 years.
Right.
15 years.
Yeah, there we go. 15 years in, and we have some of the best Chardonnay in Napa Valley.
It is amazing, yeah. But I guess the real test is, and I got to get a thumbs up or a thumbs down from the true reserve Chardonnay aficionado. There's no one in this world that's drank more of this wine than Sharon Dixon, who's sitting right over here.
Sharon.
Sharon, what do you
Sharon.
think? Up or down? Up. Okay, good.
I'm catching up with you.
I love it. I love it. Cheers to you guys. I mean, just a
It's
delicious one.
beautiful.
Barrel select, 4 different Chardonnays here at Alpha Omega. Bob, this is at the top. And from a winemaking and a vineyard management perspective, when you take the best of the best that you get each vintage and craft it and put it together, it's going to be a pretty great wine.
Well, it is. And I think when you look at a wine like this too, it's kind of inspiring. It's inspiring from a food standpoint. And so for us, when we're doing the pairings, you have a wine like this, it is something that we truly got really excited about because there's so much complexity in the wine. There's so much energy in the wine. And you'll see how we kind of parlayed that into the pairings that we did with it food-wise.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the ingredients for our first pairing for this, Bob. We've got Chef Rebecca Pizer here. And, you know, Chardonnay is one of those varieties where you can do a lot with stylistically, food-wise. Our first portion of this amazing creation, and we got to give a shout out to Michelle Baggett, who came up with this idea. Michelle, we've got the bento box here.
Well, you know, the bento box is, it was started in Japan, gosh, about 1,000 years ago. And it has really evolved. But when you go into a lot of Asian restaurants, you'll find a bento box on the menu. And what I love about the bento box, if you love tapas, you like small little plates, small little bites. I love the bento box and I love tapas. And this is just a great fun thing to do. Like when we did the Build a Pizza party and we had different pizzas for each wine, different flavors and ingredients. Well, this is more of an Asian California fusion type of tasting. So we're going to taste these small little bites into your bento box. I hope you guys all got your bento boxes, Amazon.com. We are going earth environment friendly bento boxes here, except for Chef Rebecca. She has what is a wood lacquered box. Those are very, very prevalent. They came out in about the 16th century. And then in the 20th century, when there were food shortage, they became a luxury item. But the women of Japan really take pride in putting the bento box together for their husbands when they go to work. And the husband would open up the box and he's like, wow, my wife loves me. Look at all of these wonderful things. Or if they were fighting, they'd open up the box and they'd get like some poop or something in there. And they put awful, the wife would put awful things in there. So that's how your coworkers always knew if you and your wife were fighting, was what was in your bento box. But this is really fun. And Chef Rebecca's been with us before, and we love your style of cooking. And I'm loving this beef pokey. Bob, what do you think? The flavors.
And you're exactly right, Michelle, is that it's so much fun to work with Chef Rebecca. First of all, she really has a feel for food and wine together. And really, when you're doing food and wine, so often we're trying to find similar components in the food that are also in the wines. So our challenge today was to take 3 wines and actually create one item each, 3 different dishes within our bento box. The first pairing we have is a compressed melon and beet poke. So this is a vegetarian poke, first of all. But when you look at the ingredients, what have we got in it? We've got melon, we've got golden beets, which again, if you smell this wine, you're going to smell melon, you're going to smell golden beets. But we also have cashews. We have some wonderful umami characteristics that come from the garlic and even some of the other characteristics, even a little bit of seaweed to bring these umami that really pick up on the complexity of this wine. So in this case, we're taking fruit and complexity, we're marrying it, matching it with that fruit and complexity of the dish.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's check in with Chef Rebecca here on this dish. I mean, it's pairing beautifully with our reserve Chardonnay. Chef, what do we got going on over here?
Great. Well, what we have is a compressed melon, and this is pretty simple to do. If you have a food saver at home, you can do this at home. And what I've done is I've taken the melon. In this case, I have a cantaloupe, but you could use any melon you like. And I've sliced it and cryovacted or taken all of the air out of it. And what that does is it removes some of the liquid so that the melon itself has a little bit more bite, a little bit more texture, and a lot more flavor for every piece that goes in your mouth. And then take it out and then dice it up. And so this is a really simple vegan poke. So traditional item that might go into a bento box would be a tuna poke. And so this is a great alternative. And so we have that melon over here, and I've diced that up. I'm gonna put that in the bowl. I have some golden beet that's been cooked and then diced as well. You could, if you wanted a little bit more color, use a Chioggia beet. And the Chioggia beet is this beautiful candy stripe beet that you see over here. Something, a little bit of a specialty item of California, but depending on where you live, might be something that you have available to you. We have some sliced green onion or scallion. I have some black sesame seeds. You could, of course, use some toasted white sesame seeds. And then I have some minced ginger and garlic, and then some lightly toasted cashews that have been chopped up just a little bit. And I like that for the texture that it gives. It gives a little bit of a crunch. And then lastly, I have some nori seaweed, which is the traditional seaweed that you would use if you were rolling sushi. And to dress this, I have a really simple dressing of soy sauce, rice vinegar, and some sesame oil. And we'll pour that over the top. We'll mix this together. And you know, you could let this sit and marinate for a couple of hours, but it's really delicious served right away as well. And of course, if you didn't have cashews, you wanted to use the traditional macadamia, you wanted to use a different kind of melon, you of course could do that. And so that's the dish, really simple.
Very good.
Mahalo.
Yeah.
We'll put that in
All
the
over that.
bento.
Just love how the flavors of this dish complement our reserve Chardonnay too.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Your wife would love this dish, Barrett.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like we're in Hawaii right now.
What a great pairing, you know, and today we had an additional challenge. You know, we're doing food and wine pairings, but we're also doing wine and dance pairings. You know, I've done a lot of food and wine pairings in my life. I haven't done a lot of dance and wine pairings. I got to be honest with you. So this challenge was interesting because this next dance I think that you'll see is really going to be one that's fairly energetic. And yet it has a lot of complexity. And I like to think of this wine as having a lot of energy. From that 18 vintage, it's young, it's really going to go a long time. On the other hand, there's complexity that comes from that barrel aging. So I think we're matching the complexity and that energy with the complexity and the energy of this dance.
Beautiful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to this. It'll be amazing. We've got Aloha Polynesia here with our first dance for our reserve Chardonnay and our food pairing.
This song is called Hawaiian Chapter. It's actually a love song originally, but it's actually the complexity of this is, you know, like you have talking about love and war, but this the war chant was actually what Tommy Dorsey made it very popular during the 40s, and also it was actually used in Disneyland at the Tiki Room.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Love it. Absolutely stunning. I mean, what a great song and dance for our first wine, our reserve Chardonnay. I mean, we're going to keep going, everyone. I can't believe it, but it's going to get even better. One comment I want to make from some of our virtual crew here, which I think really describes the reserve Chardonnay perfectly. The Madonnas and the McLean said, we have a mix of Chardonnay fans that like it a little creamier, a little fuller bodied, and we have a mix of fans that like the crisp style of Chardonnay. And both of them enjoy this because you get crisp and you get rich. You get it both.
Love it.
So beautiful, beautiful. All right, my friends, moving on. Real quick though, we got to check back in on our trivia question because Michelle, this was one of the trickiest trivia questions that I think we've had in the history of our virtual tastings. We had a lot of people all over the number. Some people started at 7, some people went to 150, but the number of Hawaiian islands is actually pretty tricky. What is our answer?
132.
132 islands.
Yeah, some of them are underwater.
Melissa doesn't believe it. Yeah, some of them are underwater.
You can Google it.
How can an island be underwater? That doesn't.
Well, maybe it's not. There's like a little bit of it, like it's hanging out.
Yeah.
132 islands is the answer. I mean, we didn't get the winner until the very end, but David Livingston
All right, David.
is our winner. David Livingston. That's a Magnum of 2017
I told you I
Malbec.
didn't make that number up.
No, you did not. That's a Magnum of 2017 Malbec. Real quick, I want to ask this question to Chef from Lori. What happens with this poke if you do it with watermelon? Is that possible?
You can. The watermelon is a little bit more full of water, and so the texture is going to be a little almost crunchier. You know how watermelon has that crunchiness to it, crispness.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would probably be pretty delicious, although it depends on whether or not watermelon is the flavor you're going for.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Congratulations, David, on that. David's all excited here about his Magnum of Malbec, as he should be. We've got more trivia to offer you all and more Magnums of Malbec to give away before we get into our next wine, which is our Right Bank Blend 2018. I want to pass it back over to Robin and Michelle for trivia question number 2. Michelle's already diving into that bento box.
Well, yeah, Robin's pretty much past me.
Well,
So
the only
good.
reason I was eating the first course with my chopsticks, it's kind of hard one by one. I went for the spoon and started to shovel it
That's
in.
why Asian people are so thin.
Yeah,
All right, number 2. This has
Get
2
ready,
questions.
everyone.
I need 2 answers. What musical has a song about a mythical island, okay, in the Pacific? And what is the name of that island? What musical has a song about a mythical Polynesian island, an island in the Pacific? And what is the name of that island?
2 parts. 2 parts here. You
parts.
got to get them both, my friends. We're not making these trivia easy this time. I mean, we got a bunch of Googlers out there.
So I think what.
No.
No, I'm not going to say. You got to name the musical
Yes,
and the island.
in the island.
Yeah,
I
that's
never
what
know
it-
what you're gonna say.
I'm not going to give it away. Jeez, I'm just
You
trying-
want the Magnum.
I'm just trying to help you. I'm a professional at doing this.
I know. Well, thank you for letting me step in your shoes today.
Guys, everyone, it's a 2-part answer here, and I think we actually have the winner, but we're gonna let some more answers come in here. Our live guests here
got
are
it
not very
immediately.
happy about this.
Table number 4.
They will. Our Air Elite members that are live are literally singing and dancing the song to try to win this. But we do have a winner. We're gonna go back and check on it. But while we look into the winner there, we're gonna get going on our second wine here, which very excited about this wine. The Reserve Chardonnay was delicious, but our 2018 Right Bank Blend, really unique blend, is what we're gonna feature next. Matt and Melissa, I mean, just a really interesting collaboration of some varieties that we source and farm with Alpha Omega.
Yeah, that's right. In Bordeaux, they like to blend their Bordeaux varieties, Cabernet with Merlot and Cabernet Franc. And these right and left bank wines that we make here at Alpha Omega are kind of an homage to those areas of Bordeaux. And on the right bank, that's where Cabernet Franc, and you'll find some great Merlot there as well. And in constructing these wines, we take a little bit of influence from the old world, and we're looking for barrels and lots from specific vineyards that are showing characters that are a little bit more old world in influence, maybe that have a little bit more seamless complexity, maybe a little bit less exuberant fruit, showing a little bit of earth and kind of herbaceous notes, and kind of an homage to the old world with these wines.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other fun thing is that we get to give our interpretation as winemakers of what we want that honor to be. It's a lot of fun. We talk about it all the time about how much fun we have blending wines, but this varietal or this varietals that we use in this in particular are the ones that I think are the most fun to blend, because as we're going from barrel to barrel to barrel and doing these selections, they're all so different. And we have a lot of fun talking about it. We have a lot of fun saying, oh, should we reserve this for the right bank? Should we reserve this for the left bank? So it's a lot of fun.
It really is. And when you're blending wines like this with different varietals, you can really create a wine that has complexity and seamlessness in a different way than you can with just working with a single grape. And that's what makes blending so fun. And that's why it's so popular, you know, over the history of Bordeaux to put these varietals together, is because they work together and they complement each other and they make a wine that's really expressive, but as I say, kind of seamless on the palate, and they fill in each other's deficiencies with beautiful different types of herbal and fruit notes. And it really makes a wine that is different in nature than just working with single grapes alone.
Right, Bob? I mean, 2018 Right Bank. You know, we're very familiar with Cabernet Sauvignon here at Napa and Alpha Omega, and we do a lot of blends with Cabernet-based wines with a little bit of Merlot, but this is completely different and really focusing on that right side of Bordeaux, Merlot and Cabernet Franc.
You know what I love about this wine, and I don't mean this personally against Cabernet Sauvignon, but I'm glad there isn't any Cabernet Sauvignon here. And it is definitely the big dog, but it's nice to see these supporting actors really get a chance to kind of shine. And you know what? Cabernet Franc and Merlot are no slouches. This wine is predominantly Merlot, a lot of Cabernet Franc also. Let's not forget that Cabernet Franc is the father to Cabernet Sauvignon. So again, these are prestigious grapes, and I think they get a chance to really shine. And food-wise, it really helped us a lot too, because you've got grapes that perhaps have a little bit more red fruit, a little less tannin. They have really kind of these characteristics that will help us so much in the food pairing that we did ultimately with it.
Yeah, and you know, in the winemaking world, Matt and Melissa, obviously the quality of fruit that we bring in here at Alpha Omega is pretty impressive. This Merlot specifically, and I mean, we're talking Spring Mountain for a lot of this. What a great location for Merlot. Our 100% Merlot at Alpha Omega, which we do have available,
Yummy.
stellar.
It is so good.
Stellar.
That's
Change
right.
your opinions, whatever you have, if they're negative on Merlot, everyone.
No, that's right. And we've identified areas in the Napa Valley that are specifically a great match for Merlot. And Spring Mountain on the north side of Merlot, kind of west of St. Helena, is just an incredible spot. Some of the Merlot that is coming out of this region is truly some of the best in the area. And, you know, for Paris and I as winemakers, we're so privileged to be able to work with areas in our valley that are growing things that are showcasing the grape in such a way that just can't be done in other sub-appellations. We not only do we work with the best vineyards around here, but we work with the grapes in those vineyards that are also the best for that location. And it's just a privilege, and it's easy to make fantastic wines when you're truly sourcing fruit from the best vineyards in Napa Valley.
Yeah, and we never forget it, walking the vineyards. And right now we're doing a lot of time in the vineyards, checking on stuff, looking at stuff with Joel, our vineyard manager. And yeah, Spring Mountain, it's one of those places that you know that it's just an amazing, amazing site. Yeah,
it's a site that we're really committed to. In fact, just recently, Alpha Omega has had an opportunity to work with Moorland in Spring Mountain, a vineyard that we've taken under our own wing that we're farming now. So we're committed to that appellation. It's an incredible spot for both Cabernet and Merlot.
It's okay to spill the beans.
We're gonna spill the beans on this one?
Yeah,
You are.
I never know. I never know whether it's the right time to
it's
spill
a done
beans.
deal. Marston Vineyard.
Yeah, Marston Vineyard up on Spring Mountain, where we're working with now, and we're farming, and it's just an incredible site. We're so excited to be working with it. It's going to truly make a fantastic new addition to what we're doing.
It's a great site. And we did a vineyard tour with our vineyard manager last week, or was it the week before? Time is flying. But Marston Vineyard, it's a trip up there. It's a journey. But when you're up there, you see all of the terroir, all the different microclimates. It's just incredible the way the sun is hitting the hills, north and south. And was a great experience with you and Joel. Matt, to go in the vineyards with your winemaker and your vineyard manager is quite an honor, and to take that time with us. But I want to give a shout out to Joel Antonia, our vineyard manager, who is the grape whisperer,
Vine sensei,
the wine doctor, vineyard. I mean, this guy is great. He can see a vine that somebody wants to pull out a whole vineyard of vines, and he's like, give me a year to make it healthy. It just needs some love. And so a shout out to him. And I love it that you've just put together this amazing team, Matt.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll raise a glass to Joel Antonio, amazing vineyard manager here at Alpha Omega. And I mean, Matt and Melissa, Joel and his team bring you guys some great fruit year in and year out. We're excited about what they're going to bring you guys for the 2021 vintage. And Robert and Michelle, always exploring Napa Valley. I mean, we're still in love with the diversity of Napa, still finding amazing vineyards that we can farm and find. And, you know, the only way to go is this way. We're going up.
Well, it's interesting. You go to some beautiful winery estates and all of their fruit is around their estates, but we're really focused on the diversity of the terroir of Napa Valley and giving our winemakers who have to have extreme intelligence and want more challenges to be able to say, I just don't want all the eggs in one basket. I want to be all over Napa Valley. I want to play with all of this terroir and all these beautiful varietals. I mean, it takes a magician, it takes high intelligence, and it takes people like you who are super talented at handcrafting and making beautiful wines from all over the valley.
Well, there's kind of two things we want. We're in 14 of the 16 appellations, but with Joel and his vineyard team, we want to get into situations where we either own or lease, where we can farm and control our destiny. I mean, in the past, we were buying grapes that were farmed by others. It's kind of classic way to do it when you source grapes, but to be able to control the farming from A to Z is much better. And we've proven that. I mean, everything that Joel's doing is just amazing. The guy, we found a special guy.
Yeah, that's right. The attention to detail that our team spends, the amount of time they spend in the vineyard blocks, you know, the amount of collaboration and love for the land, love and respect for the land. You know, it's so much of what we do. You know, wine and viticulture is so unique, and because we make these real long-term commitments to the land, and we love it. You know, we would love it and respect it. We get to interact with different areas of Napa in a way that other people just don't get to do. We really get to know the soil. We get to know the differences in the climate and the different challenges and successes that can happen there. And it's just an incredible way to interact with where we live.
Beautiful. I mean, Bob, this Right Bank blend, this 2018, you know, from my perspective, somewhat of a tricky wine to pair with food. And I remember our Luau on the lawn last year, you put together an amazing pairing with our chef from last year. Tell us about the pairing concept for the Right Bank 2018 and what we have here with Rebecca.
Well, thanks, Barrett. And I think when you look at red wine and seafood in general, it's a challenge. You've really got the body of the wine and the body of the seafood. So you have to try to match those up. And then second of all, we've got really tannin, and tannin is something that's inherent in most red wines, but you won't find it really in much of seafood. So you have to be careful to not get too tannic wines. So first of all, we've got Cabernet Franc, we've got Merlot, which aren't as tannic, but Chef Rebecca did an amazing job here because we picked, first of all, shrimp, a little bit fattier type of shellfish, and then we grilled it. So we grilled a little bit of those grilled flavors will match up with kind of the toasty element from the oak aging of this red wine. But the other thing is this Urfa chili and sumac. And these are two things you probably don't hear very often. Urfa chili, the key with Urfa chili is the smokiness in that chili, and also the lack of spiciness. We don't want to get too spicy because again, spice and tannin do not work well together. So it's really that combination of those flavors that really allow it to work so well with this wine. And I think she did an amazing job.
I think she did a great job. And I do want to say that that was my request, was because I love chili rock shrimp. So I'm loving this dish. And you're right, Rebecca, the ingredients are spot on my palate with this wine. Without any wine, you're just an amazing chef. Thank you.
Let's check in with you on this, Rebecca, and see how you put this all together because it's delicious.
Awesome. Well, I think what's most important is that it goes very well with the wine, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the ingredients. We have here what's called Urfa chili, and Urfa is a city in the southwest of Turkey. And what's really special about this chili, and they call it isak biber, is that what they do is they sun dry the chili, and then every night before the chilies go to bed, so to say, they cover it with a cloth. And so it retains the moisture. So it dries out and then it retains the moisture, and it dries out and it retains the moisture. And they do this process over and over for many days in a row. And what that does for the chili is it almost in a way ferments it. And that's why it has this really dark color. And it helps to give it a bit more of a umami kind of flavor to it as well. If you couldn't find the Urfa chili, you could substitute Aleppo or Marash chili. The difference there is that it is not covered at night with the cloth. And so it would be not only lighter in color, but it would also be a little bit spicier because that spice wouldn't have had a chance to kind of mellow out during that process. The other great ingredient here, oops, my apple, is sumac. Sumac is this spice that's the oldest spice known to man. So they actually wrote about this in the Bible. And what it is the dried flower of the plant that they then crush up. And what I love about this spice is that it has some acidity. So if you tasted the spice on its own, it would almost have a lemony kind of a flavor to it. And so the marinade for the shrimp is going to have this Urfa chili, the sumac, which is where our acidity is going to come from, and then lemon zest. And so we're using the zest instead of the juice so that we get lemon flavor, but not the acidity. And that the acidity, again, comes from that sumac. And then some olive oil. I'm using some extra virgin olive oil. And then a little bit of salt. And then we're going to mix this up a little bit. And then we're going to add our shrimp. And you could let this marinate 30 minutes, an hour or so. But I'm going to grill it right away. And it'll take about, 3-4 minutes or so to get these fully grilled. And while that's happening, I'll make the accompanying salad that goes with it. So let's go over to the grill here. I've got a preheated grill.
Is that a George Foreman?
It's not a George Foreman. Not a George Foreman, but that's okay.
I'm just teasing.
Do you even need a grill with the heat today?
It's a good question,
We're in Hawaii. I mean, it's warm.
right? Okay. So I'm going to grill those over here. And in the meantime, I'm going to make the salad that goes alongside. So the accompanying salad, so you kind of, although you haven't gotten this experience today, the idea would be that the shrimp are fairly warm and the salad is fairly cold. Everything is sort of hot today in general, but we have some fennel or anise. And what I've done with this is taken the bulb and I've shaved it really thinly on a mandolin. If you don't have a mandolin, but you have really good knife skills, you could, use your knife, that's fine too. And then I'm gonna take an apple. I like the pink lady apple because I like the acidity and I like the crispness of it. I wouldn't use, say, a golden delicious or a red delicious. They're a little bit mealy. So you want something kind of crisp. And then on my mandolin, I have an attachment that creates very fine shreds called julienne. So I'm gonna do that with the apple. And you could, of course, just cut it by hand, no problem. Or even use the large holes on your box grater. Okay. And then I'm gonna take that apple and put it with the fennel. And apple and fennel is a really classic combination. You'll find it going a lot with seafood. And so I'm gonna season this. I'm gonna add some olive oil. I'm gonna add some lemon juice. So this is where the juice comes in. And some chives that have been snipped. And then we're gonna mix that together. And add a little bit of black pepper. Super simple. But you get this really nice crispness, brightness from this slaw. I really like to play around with textures a lot when I'm cooking, and I think that that's also really important when you're doing wine pairing. And so what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna put the slaw in its spot in the bento box, and when the shrimp are done, I'm gonna place 3 shrimp on top over there.
Fantastic.
Ah.
That's
Really good.
beautiful, beautiful.
Wow.
And a bento box is always been a balance of meat, fish, pickled vegetables, rice, and you've done exactly that. This bento box is so beautiful, and I'm just enjoying watching you cook. And I'm thinking of when am I going to have a party, and can I afford you?
You can.
Those are answers.
You can, and it would be my pleasure.
Oh, wonderful.
There we go. Absolutely beautiful, Chef Rebecca. Thank you. And I mean, this is just with the right bank blend, it works. You know, I mean, the way that this shrimp is seasoned, Bob, and the way that it pairs with this wine, it's delicious.
It's so much fun because red wine can work with fish, in this case, shellfish. And I think so often we think just the opposite. And it's fun to see this. And really, I think a lot of the textures that Rebecca was talking about, the spices, that's what really brings the complexity and the body up. But then the same challenge here, we had to take this wine and pair it with a dance. And when we talk about Saint-Emilion, we talk about the right bank of Bordeaux, we think so often of those wines as being seductive, as silky, as wines that really don't have perhaps that tannin structure of the left bank of the Médoc. So this next dance is probably a little bit more romantic. It's a little bit more complex, but it doesn't have those really sharp edges. It doesn't have that energy perhaps of the last dance. So I think you really kind of flow through this wine, you'll flow through this dance.
Wow.
Oh,
I like the words.
Nice. I'm ready. We started with Hawaii, the energy. Now we're in Tahiti with mellow and romantic. Let's pass it over to Aloha, Polynesia.
Beautiful.
Yoranda. In Tahiti, they say Yoranda. It's Apurimameli, which is a few love songs. And love actually again, a song about Tahiti, and we're also celebrating the women of Tahiti. Tahiti nui, Yorana, 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 te baine Tahiti. Aue, aue, tene hene, te baine Tahiti. Tiare, 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 borea, aue, aue, te noa noa, te baine borea. Ko fare ni aue, I bora bora nui e, wa he au ya oe, bora bora e, na te moana e, wa reba tama iti e, aue te arofa e, tane tama iti e, yorana, yorana, yorana. Tahiti nui te pe te no tō whenua Yau vai rupe rupea Tahiti nui te pe te no tō whenua Yau vai rupe rupea Tahiti nui.
Mahalo.
That was wonderful.
That
was
was
good.
that was beautiful.
That was
and
wonderful.
And the dresses are so beautiful.
Well, they're
I love
giant,
the
they're
beautiful
giants colors.
hibiscus. It's so
They're
gorgeous.
giants
But I can
Yeah.
see my director of communications, Kelly Carter, in one of these dresses. So if you could, let's connect, Cheryl. I would love to buy one of these for Kelly Carter. Kelly, you would look stunning in this dress. Love it.
She's got
She
giant
gave us
colors
the
on
thumbs
today,
up on
too.
that.
She
Yeah,
did.
she wore a giant
And she's
color.
a Dodger fan. She loves
Oh.
she loves orange. It's her favorite color.
Kelly Carter Communications gave us the thumbs up on that, so that's going to happen. Robin, I mean, you're right. They are Giants colors.
They're perfect.
I love them.
The
Giants
headdresses.
won big time today. I think.
We need to have them at AT&T during
Yes.
the Giants game as part of a break of a beautiful show. Can you talk to Kruko?
We can talk to
Yeah.
Kirk.
There we go.
Kruk, if you're watching, we're texting you after this, and we're gonna have well, look at this.
We're going to the
Robin has
game
on his
tomorrow.
gigante kukui nut lei. So they do celebrate the Hawaiian Islands. And here's a little trivia. Does it come with a bottle? How many letters in the Hawaiian alphabet? I'm listening to him and I'm trying to sound out every single letter.
Is that a question for trivia?
It's not unless we want to add another Magnum. We can throw it out there.
It's your call.
Let's do
Oh,
it.
that's a
How
good-
many letters in the
There
Hawaiian
it is,
alphabet?
impromptu.
Someone came in hot
Big
with,
boy.
with they're coming in. They're coming in. The virtual people are ready to go.
That's impromptu.
They-
What?
They were
Did get-
ready.
Well, how many is there?
win.
You know?
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer.
I know
either.
the answer.
Oh, Michelle
Okay,
knows
let's wait a little bit.
I still have to give the answer to the other one. Do we have? a winner
Okay,
for
yeah,
that?
no, we got to go back to that. I mean, Aloha Polynesia, that was incredible. The headdresses, stunning. We've got another round of applause for Aloha Polynesia. Our guests that are here on site have a front row ticket to that. Just incredible.
Are you guys
But-
having fun over there?
Yeah, you guys having fun?
Yeah, all right.
We love you guys. Our
Love it.
Air Elite Club, they love to have a good time.
It's pretty
Love
well
it.
set up.
Before we go into trivia winner from the last trivia, we had a question here that I think is worth discussing because it relates to our right bank in relation to left bank, Bob. And this is from Lisa. Describe the differences between left bank and right bank, because we have both of those wines actually right now, our left bank blend and our right bank blend that we're enjoying today available currently.
Well, again, when you talk about right bank and left bank, we're talking about not official appellations, but how they split up Bordeaux, and really the rivers of Bordeaux create those natural separations. So the left bank became everything that's south or left of the Garonne River, and then the right bank became everything that's north of the Dordogne River. So really the two terroirs, if you will, are completely different. What they found is that the right bank, which was the northerly of the two, really was more soils of clay, of cooler climates that really favored grapes like Merlot and Cabernet Franc. On the left bank was actually more gravelly soils that favored actually warmer temperatures that favored Cabernet Sauvignon. So a left bank wine is naturally going to contain more Cabernet Sauvignon. A right bank wine is naturally going to contain more Merlot and Cabernet Franc. Not that they can't blend all of the 5 Bordeaux varieties, but really they were matching the grapes with the terroir. So stylistically, we expect the right bank, because there's not as much Cabernet Sauvignon, to be a little less tannic, be a little bit more red fruit oriented, where we expect the left bank wines to be darker in color, perhaps more concentrated, more tannic, and more dark fruit oriented.
Beautiful. Thank you for explaining that for us. Both of those wines, our left bank blend and our right bank that we're enjoying today, available right now at Alpha Omega. And those really are club wines that don't last very long around here. But thank you, Bob, for explaining that. Great question, Lisa.
Yeah. Before
Before we get on to the Cabernet Sauvignon, we got to touch base with our last trivia winner and talk about, that was a great question, Michelle. 2-part question, our number 2 trivia. And what was the answer to that?
All right, what musical has a song about a mythical island in the Pacific? South Pacific. Who does not love this musical? I mean, it's my favorite. I play Nellie twice. I love that one.
Well,
Wash that
it's
man
number
right
2.
out of my hair. I'm
It's
gonna
number
wash
2 to the Sound of Music.
that. We do love that one too. And the name of the mythical island is Valley High. Will call you any night, any day.
Wow.
Valley High.
Wow. I think we need Michelle out here performing. I mean, did anyone else just admire that? That was amazing.
We need
got a good
a
voice.
Magnum for table 4. They got it in 2 seconds.
We need a Magnum for table 4.
Yeah, they were shouting it out.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we'll do a Magnum on the Zoom and a Magnum in the room.
There we go. Magnum for table 4. Stat. Hey, that was a great 2-part question, Michelle, and we had some great answers there. The winner for this was our friend Candace B.
Oh,
with both
Candace.
South Pacific and Valley
Oh, you
High.
and I are-
Candace, congratulations. Magnum of 2017 Malbec. Big, bold, and beautiful right there. Congratulations. Don't worry, friends. We have another trivia question coming up here. This has been incredible so far. Let's keep it going. Before we get into our final wine, the 2018 Cabernet Sauvignon, Michelle, we've got more trivia.
Okay, well, did we get the how many letters in the Hawaiian
Oh,
alphabet one?
let's go with that first. Yeah, that was a curveball trivia right there. I don't even know the answer to that.
Let's go over to our musician who's singing Hawaiian over there. How many letters in the Hawaiian alphabet? His mic's not working.
Oh, sorry, check. 20 something.
I think the answer is 12.
It's 12?
I told I said
We got a pretty big range
There you go.
Sometimes why?
12. Oh, that's amazing.
So we got 12 in the Hawaiian alphabet.
Did you Google it?
No, I did not, but and I don't know if our guest did, but someone on here got it. And wait a second, this guy won our first trivia question.
It's not Stan, is it?
No, it's not Stan.
No, Stan's 86. He can't participate.
No, it's not Stan. It's David Livingston.
David, good
David
job.
Livingston. All right, David. Hey, we're gonna give that to you because we're in the giving spirit. Why not?
Why not?
That's a
It is.
Magnum of Malbec.
That's the answer.
The answer is 12. David, congrats. You're officially out for the other trivia question.
No, he's done.
He's done. He's done.
He's on the bench.
He's on the bench. David, you're on the bench, but congratulations. And we're
We had
getting
to
some
do that
fun.
with Stan, didn't we?
What's
Put
that?
him on the bench.
Yeah, I
Had
don't
to
know.
put Stan on the bench.
Stan hasn't said anything today, so I don't know if Stan is with us for this virtual experience, but
he's still on the bench.
he's making a brisket. David, congratulations. You're out for the next one, but that's two Magnums right there of Malbec for David. We're gonna have a party at David's house here pretty soon.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Everything has been incredible so far. The song, the dance, the food, the wine. And now we're going to move on to our final wine here, our 2018 Cabernet Sauvignon. But Robin and Michelle have one more trivia question that we're going to offer up to you all for a chance to win a Malbec Magnum 2017. Michelle.
Okay, this is for Zoom or in the room. Raise your hand if you've got the answer first over there. We need staff to pay attention to our Air Elite Club members over here. Somebody raises their hand. The Pacific Ocean, pretty amazing. And there are 2 record-setting things about the Pacific Ocean. What are those 2 things? The Pacific Ocean. What are the 2 things that are record-setting? That's like in the whole world.
I saw a hand up over there.
Oh, we got table 2 wants to get in on that.
Yeah, table 2 is in on it.
We got. All right. Well, they're coming in. We're going to analyze that and get back to our crew here. Our in-person team is starting to turn a little savage on the trivia. Our Air Elite members are like, wait, whoa.
Hey,
Savage
we'll
in a
add
great
more wine
way.
to your cellar for free.
Oh.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Hey,
Vicky, that's letting the cat out of the bag.
We're
we
going to
got
do
some
one
answers
for the
in here.
Zoom and one for the room. That was our director against Vicky. You never heard her voice before until just now.
We're having a blast, my friends. We're going to
That may
We love
be,
you, Vicky.
Vicky, it may be correct, but we don't know for sure.
That's not correct. I'm just kidding.
we're gonna go to our team on the back end here for the winner of that. So stay tuned on the. That's a great question. Pacific Ocean, and what?
I thought you were going to spill the beans.
Oh no, I'm not spilling the beans. I leave that to Robin. Robin spills the beans on here. Tells us all the new vineyards that we're involved in. Hey, but guys, we're gonna finish off this tasting with one of our signature wines. Right. This is the Cadillac. This is the classic our 2018 Cabernet Sauvignon from Alpha Omega. And if you like the Alpha Omega brand, this is your wine, in my opinion. Matt and Melissa, Master Sommelier Bob Bath, would love to hear your thoughts on this 2018 vintage of Cabernet. Who wants to start?
Yeah, I'd be happy to start. And I think that this 2018 Cabernet is just an incredible representation of Cabernet. You know, we had an incredible growing year in 2018, and all of the notes that we look for in Cabernet are really here in just such abundance. You know, we've got this real dense red wine, tons of character, tons of fruit notes, but also this beautiful kind of tobacco, leather kind of notes and the herbaceous kind of soil characters. This wine is just so full of character and flavor. You know, Paris and I have been taking our production team around to some of the local vineyards and wineries to taste, to get a feel for what they're doing and their styles and their ways of representing Cabernet. And I just have to say that even this Cabernet, which is our Napa appellation blend, which sits below obviously our single vineyard blends, it really hits on the same level as a lot of people's high-end reserve Cabernets. It's got so much flavor, so much concentration and character. And because we source this wine from fruit from all different appellations up and down the valley, as well as the mountaintops and the valley floor, we really get a great expression of Cabernet Napa wide. You know, it's got the best of all the worlds. It's got the bright tension and fresh acidity of the mountaintops, but it's got the lush character of the valley floor and basically everything in between. So I think that this Cabernet specifically from us, it's kind of a showcase of Cabernet across the valley of that vintage. And we had an incredible vintage of 2018. So it translates into this wine, in my opinion, in abundance.
Yeah, an explosive vintage almost. Like there was so much fruit. We were just so happy to be able to do whatever we could with it, right? The blending techniques, everything. But I think the biggest thing for me about this wine when I taste it, talking a little bit about how we're talking about comparing it with other people around the area, you know, what sets us aside at Alpha Omega is our techniques, you know, and the way that we are able to elevate our wine, even though it's our wine that is kind of that mid-range wine, we're able to elevate it because of our techniques and what we do in the winemaking stature. So
yeah, that's right. And we employ a lot of barrel fermentation here in beautiful new French oak. And the whole process of taking barrels apart and filling them with fruit for fermentation, it's kind of a new thing. And you really only see it at wineries that are performing at the very highest of levels, because it is such a labor of love. It is so much work to produce this barrel fermentation. And it's something that we do here and we've mastered here and we bring to our wines. And it just brings incredible concentration and aromatic expression to the wines, but also gives us this very rich tannin profile that is just kind of luxurious and velvety. And as you say, Paris, it really sets us apart from the competition, both the vineyards that we work with, but also the care and meticulous attention we bring to the winemaking.
yeah, absolutely.
I really want to let you both know that you're amazing winemakers. And for those of you that don't know the history, Matt taught viticulture at Cal Poly. Paris, that's her last name. We call him Brain, Matt Brain, Paris and the Brain. And she was a student and they have so much great synergy together. And I missed you at Live at 5. So yesterday I said, she's coming to Live at 5 on Final Funnel Friday. But unless you don't want to, but you guys are such an amazing team. The synergy is so incredible. And I love what you talk about, you know, the technique and Alpha Omega being the old world traditions, old world handcrafted traditions into the new world of technique and technology. And that's what the two of you have. And I loved your comments a few weeks ago, Matt. Matt's a science nerd. He knows science so well. I mean, he's got so many levels of accreditations. It's incredible. And he is a decathlete.
Oh,
Woo! Scholarship.
Yeah.
But you two are just amazing. But you know, you've got that science knowledge. And you said, you know what? It's great to have the science knowledge, but you don't make wine on science. You just know that that all that information is there. That's why you handcraft beautiful wines. And I love having a female winemaker that is up and coming. So the women winemaker team in Napa, Melissa's coming onto your team. She's going to be
She's,
the
I
star.
don't think she's up and coming. She's
Michelle
here.
forgot the other
Ready
footnote
to rock.
about Bob, Beth, and myself. We're both Cal Poly too. So we got, of the 4 people here, we're 4 of 6.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
hey, Bear and I lived in San Luis Obispo.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, we'll count, you're counted a half. That's good, you got a half.
There we go. You know, this is the staple here at Alpha Omega, Bob. This is our signature Cabernet Sauvignon 2018. In a lot of these virtual experiences that we've done over the last year and a half, you've really talked about how Cabernet just wants to grow in Napa Valley. And here we are enjoying this from multiple appellations. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think, like you said, this is the ideal place for Cabernet Sauvignon in the world. And I think that's the important thing, is that we have that combination of warm days and cool nights, which Cabernet Sauvignon loves. But also, we've talked so much about blending today and blending different varieties together. We can also talk about blending different locations of Cabernet Sauvignon, the valley floor, the hillsides, the mountaintops. And so this is yet another blending exercise, coming back again to great vineyards that we found in all 3 of those locations. So as easy as it sounds, if it's predominantly Cabernet Sauvignon, it's actually not. It's finding how each of these different, whether the hillsides provide a little bit more of that mid palate and the richness comes from the valley floor, and maybe the tannin comes from the mountaintops. All of this kind of, to me, ultimately creates a great wine. And I keep tasting this wine and thinking, maybe the fruit's gonna subside a little bit. This wine to me is just, it is so focused. This is going the long haul. It's exciting to taste wines like this that have that kind of complexity and yet are still fruity at this age. They're gonna mature just beautifully.
Yeah.
You know, and it's our classic expression. The 2018 vintage is really just kind of blowing us away. Not only our guests that are on staff here enjoying it, but as our employees and staff here at Alpha Omega, these wines are just opening up so beautifully, Matt, in Paris. Over the last couple months, they keep changing for the better. And they're going to drink while young, but they're going to stand the test of time in the cellar.
Yeah, no, that's right. And with 2018 specifically, we just have such a magical vintage of, as you say, Barrett, wines that are incredible and expressive and show a ton of character in their youth. But, you know, the brightness of the acidity and the incredible acids in this wine are going to allow this wine to really age gracefully over the years. And, you know, we've been doing some kind of vertical tastings here at Alpha Omega over the past number of months, really kind of diving into the nuances of how our wines have been crafted over the ages, over the past 15 years, and how those different vintages are aging. And I think what we've really come to determine is that there's really no bad vintage. There are just vintages that show well young and some that take more time to open up to really reveal their character. But what's fun about 18, and also I have to say 2019, coming on the heels of 18.
You're letting them know?
No, I'm not gonna spill any beans, but I'm gonna say that these are magical vintages because they're really they're showing well young, but are gonna last incredibly long. And that's kind of the you know, that's kind of the magic when you can have a wine that's gonna do both and show our customers and our fans the best of what Cabernet can be. From the mountaintops to the valley floor, from the south down to Coombsville to the north up to Calistoga, and we're Cabernet across the valley in the vintage, and it's just an incredible expression. And for our fans, man, we are lucky to be experiencing this wine.
Yeah, yeah. You know, Barrett, I hope I'm not messing up your program, but in the Bintle box, I can kind of understand what the first one was and the second, the shrimp, right? But I'm telling you, we could have had a trivia question on number 3.
I know, right?
What is number 3?
What is this
If
beautiful
anybody-
thing?
I know,
Well,
it-
everybody has it on the menu. You have a menu
Oh,
card
yeah,
of your wine
I didn't
pairing.
have a menu, so what? Okay, I don't.
You're
No,
like,
am I
is
out
this
of order?
dessert?
Am I out of order?
No, I mean, I think you're saying what all of us were thinking. And I mean, this is why we have Master Sommelier Bob back here.
We're tasting blind, Bob. What's going on?
Robin, I'm
Rebecca?
so glad you asked that question.
It wasn't on the front, but I've been tasting. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Well, maybe I shouldn't tell you, actually, just to try to figure it out. But honestly, I think so often we think of what? We think of Cabernet Sauvignon and steak. And I love where Rebecca went with this one because we didn't do it. We actually did it with chicken. And this is a tea smoked chicken roulade that's actually with a guava and orange sauce. And I love this dish for a couple reasons.
That's
Number
chicken,
one,
boss.
because we've taken something like chicken. Perhaps you don't like red meat. Perhaps you want to do white meat. You can do that with a tannic, full-bodied red wine like this. How did we do it? Well, first of all, she built up the body of the chicken. She added richness to that body. That's the roulade part of it. So really, it's really chicken with a little bit more fat is probably what we gave it more body. On the other hand, tea smoked becomes the key part of this. The smokiness again in the dish, smokiness in the wine, and you'll really see her mixture for the smoking, which I think is really kind of the key, because that's complexity also, and complexity in that dish, complexity in the wine. And then finally, the sauce, which is the acidity, that fruitiness, bringing up the fruitiness of the wine. So to me, again, this dish actually is a perfect backdrop for the wine, but you know what? It doesn't give in. It stays right there with it. And I love those two kind of going toe to toe here.
Yeah, I agree, Bob. And I just want to say that what really jumped out at me about this dish is the texture of the chicken was so moist and so beautiful that you put it in your mouth and you think it's like it's so beautiful and smooth that I can see why you could be like, what? Wait a minute, what is this? This can't be chicken. It's so moist and so beautiful. And what I love about the pairing in that is, you know, here in Napa Valley and with Cabernet especially, the texture of the wine is so important to what we do. You know, when you're making Pinot Noir and you're making red grapes from other parts of California, which Paris and I both have, you know, you have a focus on the aromatics and the balance of the wine. But working with Cabernet, the structure and the texture of the wine is so incredibly important because it really revolves around that ageability of the wine and that approachability of the wine. And if the texture is not right, the wine can be very, very austere and kind of hard in the mouth. And I love the attention spent on texture in this dish because it is just so kind of buttery and rich that it brings my focus to texture in the mouth. And then I go to the Cabernet and I think, oh, well, there has been some attention spent on the texture of this wine as well. So for me, that's one of the fun kind of synergies of this dish with all the flavor and aroma synergies. Also, the textural kind of complements here is really exciting for me.
Yeah, I got it. I mean, it's an amazing, I can't wait till you explain how you made this.
Yes.
I would have not won a Malbec Magnum.
Right?
I would have been way off. So
What would you have guessed if you had to guess?
I actually thought had more fish in it. A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because
Yeah,
your mind
I've
is
been-
saying fish. You know how it
Totally.
is when you think you're going to taste something and then it's not.
Well, it had a little bit of that smoky kind of quality to it, you know, as
Yeah.
well. So I could get
Yeah.
I
maybe
thought
like
it was kind of a
smoked fish or
blend of
something. Yeah.
fishes.
Because you had fish on the brain.
in the plural.
Fish
Yeah.
on the brain.
I wouldn't have guessed it was chicken.
Well, I had not tasted it until you said chicken, and I tasted chicken, but I tasted flavors. And you're right about the textures, Matt and Melissa. These textures are so incredible with this wine. The flavor profile is off the charts. I mean, to have some friends over and you have a bunch of bento box and you say, all right, you bring this dish, you bring this, then everybody spoons it out in the bento boxes. Hashtag bento has over 2.7 million tags. It's
Wow.
one of the largest Instagram. There's so many Instagrams on bento. So guys, have a bento party. If you've got
Yeah.
4 spaces, have 4 people bring the dishes and 4 people pair the wines. Call Bob, he'll pair them for you. Do this dish that Rebecca has. It's online. You can get these dishes. You can make this at home. Have somebody do the poke, somebody do the spicy chili shrimp, have somebody do this wonderful tea chicken off the charts.
Yeah.
What a fun party this is.
I don't know
Party
about,
in a box,
I-
Rebecca.
I just got to share it with you guys. I don't know about you all out there. Some of us are kind of the same age, but I kind of grew up with bento boxes. My parents, when they go out to dinner, they gave me these called Swanson TV dinner. It was a bento box.
Salisbury steak.
Yeah, I had the Salisbury.
I like that one.
I grew up on Hungry Man in Georgia.
That was the American bento box.
Oh, I love it. I mean, what an amazing pairing. And honestly, I'm gonna sound like an idiot, but I thought that was like a rolled up cheesecake or something. I was like,
Kind of
what is this?
I was thinking
And I
of
took a bite of it
banana
and had it
or
with some
fruit.
cat. I was like, this is
You
chicken.
Oh,
wanna
you
taste it?
didn't
Yes.
know
You
either.
didn't
No.
taste it. We're just
No,
looking at it.
I came in blind, but we got to pass it over to our amazing
Yeah,
chef
this
who
is
stumped
great.
us all, Rebecca Pye. So let's talk about this last pairing.
Okay.
You're getting MVP for this.
Thank you. All right, so this isn't as hard as it looks, but if you got a chicken breast, and chicken breast is really easy to overcook. So this technique is really kind of fun to do, and it looks really great. Pound the chicken breast thin, and then I took some chicken thigh and I pureed it, and I added some egg white and some cream. And to pair with the wine, I added some cumin and some white pepper. And I basically made what we call in the chef world a force meat, which is basically like a sausage. And I put that mixture in the middle, and I rolled it up, and then I rolled it in plastic wrap. And then so that's what you have over here.
Oh.
And so I poached it in water that was about 180 degrees, really low temperature, until the chicken itself on the inside reached about 155 to 160. And you pull it out, and then it continues to cook until it's, you know, the desired temperature for chicken, which is 165.
161.
161? Yeah, you're testing the chef, right? 165. And then I cooled it. And when it was cool, I then made a smoking mixture. And so this is a really fabulous Japanese technique or Chinese technique. In Asia, they do this a lot. What I have in here is rice, tea leaves, some cinnamon, some orange peel, and cloves. And what you'll do is you'll take this and you can put it in a little foil packet, or if you have on your grill, sometimes the grill has a little smoking insert that you can put this mixture into. And then what I did actually is put it onto a pan, a cast iron pan at home, and I turned the flame up high, and then it will start to smoke. And then I turn the flame down really low, and I put the chicken roulades on a little rack above it and cover it and let it just maybe 5 minutes just to get that smoky flavor without continuing to cook it. And then we cooled it down and we cut it the way you see here. So what's on the inside is the pureed force meat, the sort of chicken sausage with the spices. And on the outside, you have the chicken breast. And so I'm going to slice this really thin, and the sauce that goes with it is made from guava paste. And this is something you could get at your local Latin market if you have that, or order it online. And then some orange juice, and just reduce that, and you make this really beautiful glaze. And so I'm just going to slice this chicken pretty thinly and plate it in the bento box. And, you know, if chicken wasn't your thing, you could make something like this from pork. You could, of course, make it from fish if you so desired. And we'll plate this down over here. And then add some of our guava glaze. Now, you could take a pastry brush if you wanted to and brush the roll first, but we're just going to plate it like this. And I really thought that the smoking mixture, the spice mixture, the guava really paired nicely with this wine. And just lastly, just to highlight the rice here, rice can kind of be benign sometimes.
Oh, this rice is extra.
Yeah, so this is some sticky rice that has all of the spices that for me were in the wines that we were trying. And so there's some star anise, some white pepper, cardamom, fennel, cumin, clove. And so all of that was cooked in with the rice. And
oh, you cooked it in.
I cooked it in with the rice. So
no, the rice was special.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Oh,
Incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Yay, Rebecca.
wow.
Thank you,
Beautiful
Chef
job.
Rebecca.
Bravo.
You're welcome.
I mean, the beautiful thing about this experience is these food pairings that Chef Rebecca and Master Sommelier Bob Bath have put together have all been sent out to our guests, both virtually and live, and they're going to be posted on our website. The video of our virtual experience will be on there as well. What a great kind of unique pairing of wine and food, Bob.
Thank you, Barrett. And it's so much fun working with a chef like Rebecca who really understands food and wine pairings. But of course, the big challenge again was what? The wine and dance pairing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You're an
So-
expert after this, Bob.
well, I don't know. I've got great dancers to work with, so that helped. And I got great wine to work with. You know,
Is that part of your master som test?
no, this is definitely no. This is a little bit more freeform. But the idea, first of all, you know, when Cabernet Sauvignon walks in the room, this is not somebody hiding in the corner. This is the center of attention. This is really the the star of the show. And I think that's a little bit of what this dance is also. This dance is loud, it's active, it's a big dance. This is a big wine, so we're matching size and size here. So there's really at the same time a lot of complexity, there's a lot of energy. So I love the fact that Cabernet Sauvignon will never be wimpy. I want Cabernet Sauvignon to really be that way. I want it to be dry, I want it to be ageable. I really want it to be something that's memorable. And I think you'll find this dance very memorable also.
Beautiful. Well said. We're going to pass it back over to Aloha Polynesia. We started in Hawaii. We went to Tahiti, and now we're going to stay in Tahiti with this experience here.
Maruru. This is the otea, which is actually a greeting dance. It's actually the famous drums of Tahiti. Actually, the lead is the tuere and the pahu drum, which is like the heartbeat of the dance. Again, this is a very powerful.
You're a natural, gifted speaker.
Thank you. I love
Omaha.
it.
Pretty good, huh? Not bad at all. I'm just telling her.
Thank you.
Hi.
Even the same words that you said.
Oh my gosh.
Ahoy.
I want to see.
Fire. Hey. What's ya?
Everything. What would we do without both of you?
Hey.
I feel like that sometimes. I'm starting to feel like that.
Follow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's like fireworks. You never want them to stop, you know?
That was amazing.
Oh,
And I
my
love how
goodness.
Michelle was covering up Robin's eyes. I mean, you know, all I got to say is it's all in the hips.
Hips
Amazing.
don't lie. Megan, try
I mean, Aloha Polynesia. I mean, let's give another round of
One more
applause for
time,
that.
you know, I feel like I'm in Hawaii. Last year when we were all quarantined at home and we couldn't have guests here on property and we had this beautiful hula. It's just nothing better than a halau, and we appreciate that you guys study your craft and you do such a beautiful job at sharing the culture of Hawaii and the Polynesian Islands. My husband should buy me a set of pearls. Where do the black pearls come from? Black pearls.
Is this another trivia question?
Is this another trivia question?
Yeah, we've got a hand over here on this table. I don't know what the table numbers are.
4, 3.
Don't yell it out.
Oh, two
Tahiti.
different answers over here.
Okay, obviously we're only giving a Magnums out to here. Sorry, Zoom team, but the Tahitian pearl, the black pearl, is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I work for,
One Magnum for table 3.
yeah,
Magnum for table
yes.
3.
Tahitian pearls.
Beautiful.
Everybody deserves a set of Tahitian pearls.
Beautiful.
You-
So
you
Robin,
guys
are you gonna
Tahitian pearls.
is that gonna happen, Robin?
Huh?
Oh,
I work for Hawaiian Airlines. I've already got my Tahitian pearls.
Oh, good.
you know, that unbelievable performance by Aloha Polynesia here. I mean, we've got trivia winners for days here. Congratulations to all our winners. However, we also put out a request for all of our guests virtually and on site to dress up in best attire, and also for our virtual people joining us, best decor. And our amazing team here, our communications guru, Kelly Carter, has scoured the boxes virtually, and Wait,
Oh, yeah.
she's like, I don't
All
want my
you,
name
Kelly.
attached to the winner here. But we have a winner for best decor in our virtual tasting here, and
Not your parents again.
no, it's not. It's not Todd and Val Spiegel, but Mom and Dad, I love you. Our best decor for virtual is Josh Bobo and crew.
Ah,
Josh Bobo and crew.
hey,
Josh,
Josh.
cheers to you.
Where's Josh?
Where is Josh? Josh, where are you?
Well, we
Comment-
can't see you.
Tell
so-
us, well, we see you, but Josh, let us know where you're located on the chat box. We spotlighted his view. Oh, look at that. There they are. Cheers to you.
We're
Yeah,
in
they-
Texas, Texas.
For all of our people here, they've got like grass skirt on the table here. They've got flowers everywhere. They've got flowers. The ladies have lays on.
Oh,
The
beautiful.
ladies got a lay. That's a good thing. And the gentlemen also have cocoa nuts.
Oh,
look at that.
That's great.
Congratulations, Josh and crew. That is a Magnum of Malbec 2017 for our virtual best dressed. Okay, we're gonna do a best dress virtual and on site. Our best dress for our virtual crew is Mark Chambers. Mark,
What's he
let's see what
wearing?
Mark's looking like. Where's Mark? Are we gonna pin Mark? Did Mark leave? There's Mark. Oh yeah, nice Mark. Mark and crew, they got a pineapple. They've got an umbrella there in the pineapple. They're ready to rock. Congratulations, Mark, you and your crew. Magnum of Malbec 2017 coming your way. And you know, Mark also, which I thought was pretty cool. Mark decided to throw out a trivia question for everyone joining him virtually in the chat box. He said, "What Hawaiian island can you snorkel and/or scuba dive with manta rays?" He put that out there in the comment section.
Well, wait.
Ooh, Big
Oh,
Island
the
says
Big
Big
Island.
Juan says Big Island. I don't know what the answer is, but and we're not giving it away wine for that. But you know, nice work, Juan.
Well, he might want to give up his Napa.
Mark said, yeah, that's right.
You posted the question.
There we go. Juan Porter got that right on. Cheers, Mark. Congratulations. And wait, we've got an amazing, I mean, this has been unbelievable to have a crew of some of our favorite people here on site. And we're going to give out a Magnum for best attire on site. And you know, our crew dove deep into this. Everybody looks good, but Tiffany and crew are going to win best attire. Stand up, Tiffany and crew. There we go. There we go.
Love it. I love it.
Magnums of Malbec 2017.
A lot of Magnums. I hope we made enough.
It's all good. Yeah.
I love
We
them
have
all that.
officially sold out of Magnums of Malbec 2017.
Well, this is one of our favorite virtual tastings. We love to do the theme virtual tastings. Last year, National Publication voted us one of the top 10 virtual tastings for our Luau last year.
Yay.
Amazing. And I think this is going to be what, top 3 this year?
Right.
Hey, what about numero uno?
Numero uno.
Yeah.
Numero uno.
If you're not first, you're last.
Exactly. Yes.
Thank you, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Well, hey, everybody that's joined us virtually, Mark said, thanks, Ricky. Everybody that's joined us virtually from all over the country, we truly enjoyed having you. We're going to keep this going, and I'm going to have Robin and Michelle talk about what we have planned for the rest of the year. Just want to remind you, these 3 wines, our 2018 Reserve Chardonnay, our 2018 Rye Bank, and our signature Cabernet Sauvignon 2018, you're going to want more of. We're going to send you a follow-up email and give you a wine offer on these 3 wines. So stock up, reply to that email, give us a call. Call one of our brand ambassadors and we'll set you up.
Barrett, did
more wine.
we've got a
You
room.
got another
Hold
game?
on, we have a room winner for my trivia question, but then we have a Zoom winner on the 2 things about the Pacific Ocean that are
Oh.
record setting.
We didn't go back to that one.
No, we did not. We know we've
Wow.
got somebody over here in the room that's won it. So do we have anybody on the Zoom?
Yes, we do. Thank you. Let's go back to
Vicky
that.
had who won here on this
I'm
side?
losing track of
Vicky
Let's-
spilled the beans.
Don't say it
Again.
out loud again.
Yes, we have another trivia. Thank you, Michelle. The third trivia question.
No, the
what are
fifth or whatever it was.
Yeah, the fifth,
Maybe
sixth.
sixth or what.
I don't know. I
Well, I'm
lost
losing
track.
track of trivia here.
Okay, the answer is the Pacific Ocean is bigger than the land size of all of the world continents combined.
So it's gotta be the biggest ocean.
It's 30%. It's
That's
huge.
big time.
30%.
And it is also the deepest
Oh,
ocean
yeah.
on the planet.
Okay, Vicky, who won? Okay, Vicky's got him.
Okay, we got a
There we
Magnum
go.
coming your way. And do we have the answer?
We do. For our virtual crew, Lisa and crew won that trivia question. Lisa's getting a Magnum of 2017 Malbec.
There we go.
Lisa.
Congratulations, Lisa.
Congratulations, Lisa
And crew,
and crew on site, virtual.
your halal, your ohana.
You
Yeah,
know,
your
if we
ohana.
keep doing these live virtuals and you know, people on site, people virtual, we're gonna give away a lot of Magnums of wine.
I know.
I think there's some ladies that want to do a dance. And you can-
Robin wants to watch the dance.
Robin wants to watch the dance. No, so before we pass it back to Aloha Polynesia for our final song and dance, Robin and Michelle, this is one of the greatest experiences that we've done. Let's talk about what we have planned for the rest of the year. Our next virtual experience, I'm excited about because I know that this location, this part of the world really hits you guys pretty hard, and that is
Italy.
Italy.
Oh,
But before Italy, we are bringing our wine club members back to the property. Our Air Elite is here today to help break us in so we can learn how to treat you guys right. Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate your support. Really so honored to have you all here. And so we're having a barbecue on July the 24th.
Oh, I love
It's
barbecues.
Smoking hot barbecue on a Saturday, July 24th. Robin's going to roll out the hog. We're going to all get back together. It's going to be a great time. We are starting a little lean as we're trying to break into this. We've been the most cautious winery. We've been 12 feet apart for tables. We've been limiting it to a certain amount of people. We're still being extremely cautious. So I think we're only going to have 80 spots available. We would love for you all to come and celebrate with us. We have Festival Napa Valley that's happening, starts next week on Thursday. All of the proceeds from Festival Napa Valley goes to music education in our schools, in our colleges. It's really important. Music is math, math is science. And we're big supporters of music education because we need scientists, we need doctors, and we need winemakers. And it takes a lot of science behind making wine. So we love to support music. We also have the V Foundation for Cancer Research. That's coming up in August. On August the 5th, if you haven't already got your package, we're going to be doing a really cool concert with a Grammy Award winning performer here on the property. And then on Friday, it's the Rock the V barbecue cook-off. It's Alpha Mega versus Chapelet versus Gargiulo versus Vineyard 29.
No
It's going to be a
competition.
ton of fun. You're going to have all your ESPN notables. So if you're a sports fanatic, ESPN is one of the founders of the V Foundation, the Jimmy Valvano Foundation for Cancer Research. So please join us in Napa. That's going to be an amazing time. If you buy a package for the weekend of the gala on Saturday morning, you get to meet the cancer research scientists that are doing all the work and that are taking 100% of proceeds raised through the V Foundation for Cancer Research goes to these scientists, goes to cancer research. There's an anonymous donor that takes care of all of the administration costs.
Yes.
And we've raised $120 million+ with the V Foundation. So please join us for these events. Stay tuned. In your wine club insert, you're going to get the calendar for the year virtual. And what is that creature? And you need to sign up. So sign up. We're looking forward to these events. We're so excited. And I'm taking it back over to Cheryl and her beautiful halal for this wonderful grand finale. She wants Robin to come over and dance. Come, Robin.
We're doing a song called Drums of Melanie, Drums from the islands into Aloha. Drums. The drums of the islands are singing in my heart. They're with me no matter where I go. though I may travel 10,000 miles alone, I know that then they will lead me home. The drums of the island are singing in my heart. They're with me no matter where I go. Hula talofa ki ora aloha. Yora na maolele tonga. Yora na maolele tonga. Everyone please stand up. I would like to share this, our love for the Polynesian islands. And it's a song from Queen Liliuokalani's song called Aloha Oi. Aloha Oi, Aloha Oi, Eke ona ona no I kalipo. One fond embrace, until we meet again. One more time. Aloha, aloha, eke ona ona aloha, ikalipo. One fond embrace, until we meet again. Until we meet again. From all of us, we love you guys. Aloha.
Oh, great job, by the way.
That was awesome.
That was
awesome.
Nice to meet you in person.
It was it. I mean, all the food was.
Oh, so
and how you
All right,
did it.
everyone. This has been an absolute blast. Everyone joining us virtually on site. So much fun. We're putting a QR code for all of our people virtually to check out our the wines that we had on our virtual tasting, and then we're going to Italy for our next virtual experience. That's what Robin's talking about.
And we're having wine club Italian family style dinner.
We're-
Chef Nash.
We look, Chef
I'm sorry,
Nash.
I have food in my mouth.
Michelle's eating and talking.
I'm
Hey,
sorry. I'm sorry.
This has been so much fun. Everyone out there, enjoy the rest of your evening, and we hope to see you again for another virtual experience. Bob Bathmaster, sommelier, winemakers, Matt Brain, Melissa Paris, always a pleasure. Robin, our vintners, I mean, the masterminds behind these events. Thank you guys so much. These are fun.
I usually end this with
We got to give a shout out to Rebecca, though.
Rebecca, yeah.
Rebecca.
Oh,
Yay,
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Sure.
And usually end this with adios, mayu con Dios, but I can't. It's got to be aloha.
Aloha.
Yeah, aloha.
Aloha. Aloha, Polynesia. Thank you guys so much. Cheers to
Mahalo.
you. All right, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you again soon. Cheers.
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 Cheers. Cheers.
second.